What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Mike's Reef Tank. Past couple months we've dealt with different kinds of nuisance algae. We had some diatoms, we had some green hair algae, and our newest invader is bubble algae. In this video I'm going to show you guys how to naturally take care of this nuisance and remove from your aquarium without using any antibiotics. Alright, first let's talk about how did this bubble algae get in my aquarium. So bubble algae isn't just appear in your aquarium, it had to get in there somehow, and most likely it's either on frag plugs, or if you introduce some aquarium water from a different system, the spores could be in that aquarium water, and that's how it got in your tank. I'm assuming that it was hitchhiking spore form on this frag plug that contained my leather coral. That was the first place it popped up in the aquarium, so I feel like that is definitely where it started. Now, bubble algae can grow pretty big. I mean, it can get up to an inch, which sometimes people call sailor's eyes. You don't want to pop them when you're removing it because that can release spores into your aquarium for it to grow in different spots. And you want to make sure to get it out. Maybe turn off your pumps, your wave makers, so you can easily net it if it gets loose and you don't have a good grasp of it. Because if it gets loose and it lands somewhere else, it's just going to populate there in your aquarium. A good practice to do when introducing new corals into your aquarium is to take some hydrogen peroxide, water it down with some RODI, and use a paintbrush to just slightly put some of that hydrogen peroxide on the frag plug. Make sure not to touch the corals with it, but this will kill any kind of nuisance algae that could be on that plug before you put it into the aquarium. Now, once it's in your aquarium, what do? Natural methods. We can talk about adding emerald crabs to the aquarium. Emerald crabs love to eat bubble algae. They can be kind of hit or miss. I've put one in my aquarium and I haven't seen him eat any bubble algae at the moment. Maybe he's picking off some other algae he likes before he decides to go for the bubble algae. But at this moment, he hasn't really done anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use manual removal. So with manual removal, I'm gonna take some tweezers. I'm gonna slightly pull it off the rock and put it into a Tupperware container containing some of my salt water, making sure to get every piece out. If a piece goes loose, make sure you grab that with a net. You don't want that to land somewhere else in your tank and repopulate. You don't want to bust the bubbles as you're removing them. You want to be very gentle because if they're busted, that could release spores into your aquarium. You're just going to end up with more bubble algae. For the tight crevices, use definitely the tweezers. If it's big clumps, you could use your bare hands. This is what I'm going to do for natural removal. It's going to take time, of course. It took time for it to get into your aquarium, so it's going to take time to get it out. And you just got to stay confident and up with it and be due diligent. Eventually, you won't have any more in your aquarium. Now, there's other methods you could use. You could use an algicide. You could try using an antibiotic like fluconazole. I do not want any of that in my tank. I'm trying to keep this as natural as possible. So I'm sticking with manual removal and emerald crabs. Like all nuisance algae, don't beat yourself up for this. This is gonna happen. This is part of your tank maturing. And just make sure you keep up with these methods. Eventually, your pest will be gone. As you guys might have noticed from the up-close pictures of my bubble algae, I'm starting to get some aptasia in this aquarium. Hooray! Aptasia. Something else to deal with. Just kidding, I'll find a way to take care of that, and stay tuned for a video on that tutorial coming up soon. If you guys enjoyed this content for the bubble algae, hit that like button. If you've dealt with bubble algae in the past with different kinds of removal methods, or you decide to use antibiotics, please let me know down in the comments. Subscribe for more reefing goodness, and as always, happy reefing. If you have other nuisance algae growing in your aquarium, like diatoms, green hair algae, I even have a video on cyanobacteria. Check out the playlist I'm putting at the end of this video. That'll help you deal with these nuisance pests.